What's going on? Welcome back to my channel. I'm Corey and this is my Jeep, but this video is not about the Jeep. It's not about the Corvette. It's not about anything that you've seen on the channel before. It's about this little bad ride that I got for Christmas. This 1/10 scale rock crawler from Redcat called a Danchee Ridgerock. Something I got for Christmas and been out playing with it. I'm going to do a quick review on it and maybe show you 5-10 minutes worth of video of me playing around with it on the rocks. That can get a little bit boring. So bear with me till the end to get my final thoughts on it. So let's go inside where it's a little bit warmer and let's check this bad boy out. I would go ahead and say that I don't know a whole lot about RC cars. I used to way back in the day, but they've changed so much since then. So I may say some things that are completely wrong. Just blast me in the comments like normal and I'll figure it out. But this little thing was really cheap. I say really cheap for what it is in my opinion. It was about $100 shipped, and it is a great rock crawler. It's 1/10 scale. It uses 1.9 tires or wheels and tires. You can see I've got pretty big hands, and you can see how big the tires are. It's a very good, in my opinion, alternative to the $200 and $300 and $400 axials and other rock crawlers because it's $100. It is not quite toy grade. It's well above toy grade, but it's not quite, in my opinion, hobby grade. And just the difference between toy and hobby grade, if you don't know, is just the quality of components and the way things work. And as you can see how dirty it is. I have been running this thing constantly for about 3 or 4 days. And I'll show a little bit of video of that, or actually a good bit of video of that in a little bit. It comes with this plastic body. I don't know if it's some sort of Lexan or just molded plastic, ABS. I'm not sure, but you can see it's molded. It is pretty sturdy. I've rolled it a few times and it's held up real well. You can see there's no cracks. The paint's not coming off or anything like that. So that works pretty well. It comes with a plastic frame, which can be expected for $100. It has Tamiya. It has a mini Tamiya connector for the battery. It uses a lithium-ion battery, a very small lithium-ion battery actually, at 7.4 volts at 1500 milliamps. And this is just a standard little double battery pack with a mini Tamiya connector. You can build your own, you can make one bigger. It is designed to hold a bigger battery pack all the way across through here. The small one just fits barely down in here, so it is designed to fit a bigger battery pack. I think it even says that in the literature. Comes with gas-filled aluminum cap shocks. One thing I will say about the shocks is be careful. I bought several of these, and one of them that we bought, these caps were loose. The shock started leaking as soon as we started using it, and we didn't know why it was leaking until we realized those caps right there were loose. So make sure you tighten those up. Make sure those are tight before you start using it. It has this 4-link wishbone or 3-link wishbone suspension that gives it a lot of flex. As you can see, a whole lot of flex. And instead of the hobby grade crawlers having the engine up in the chassis with drive shafts going down the axles, this one has the engines in the axles. That's pretty common on the toy grade stuff. So they'll have 2 separate engines, I believe, or motors. These motors, I believe, are 380s, pretty standard size for small RC cars. I did like the fact that it has standard steering with a servo, with a tie rod, and a steering link. These are 6C servos, which are pretty small. But they should be, because all these links and things are plastic. The knuckles are plastic. You don't want a lot of power on this servo that's going to stress and break these plastic parts. Again, if it was more hobby grade, it would have more aluminum parts, and it would probably have a 15 or 25 or 22. But this works perfect because it doesn't put too much stress on these plastic parts. And that's pretty much it as far as the construction. These are proprietary axles, I believe. But the instruction booklet does have a parts list, and you can buy all these, and you can buy all these on the Redcat website. And I think the whole axle housing, gears and all, is only like $20 if one were to break, $20-$30. All these parts are very cheap. The motors you can find on Amazon for $5. Shocks are cheap. You can even buy a new frame or cradle. These are standard wheels and tires, so you can find replacements for these. These are beadlock, double beadlock wheels and tires. And then it has the little electronic speed control under there. I don't know if you can see that, but it's a pretty standard ESC and receiver. Here's the very basic controller. However, one thing about this controller is it is designed for this particular vehicle, because this vehicle does have 4-wheel steering, and it has the different steering modes here. So regular, standard 4-wheel steering, 4-wheel crab steering, and then rear steer. And of course the prerequisite trim tabs. It's just standard 3 AA's for this, and it's worked great. I mean, I haven't had an issue. I mean, it's cheap. It's very cheap, but it works. Again, this is a toy. This isn't a hobby grade. This isn't something that you're going to pour tons of money into, but if you have a need, I'm sure my wife loves me dirtying up the table, but if you have something you just want to play with and not worry about, and we beat on these things for several days, and I'll show some video of that. You can actually see on the bottom how we have just bashed them into every rock we could possibly find. It's done great so far. So the pack comes with the battery, it comes with the body, it comes with the little pins to hold the body, it comes with a little USB charger. It doesn't come with a charging block, but it comes with a little USB slow charger. It comes with a little wrench for the tires. It comes with 2 more horns for the servos. And it also comes with spacers for the shocks, so you can pull the spring down and pop a spacer on there and change the dampening. So let me give you my opinion on it. My opinion is that this is fantastic for anyone wanting to play with a crawler. This thing will keep up with high dollar crawlers, I guarantee it. It might not be as cool because it doesn't have the drive shaft, and the body's just a standard ATV looking or UTV looking body. And it is slightly upgradable, but it's not as upgradable as a high dollar one because, again, you have the proprietary axles. You could upgrade links. You could upgrade shocks. You could upgrade servos and things like that. But then you start breaking knuckles, and you have to upgrade knuckles, and you know, it snowballs just like anything else. It's a little bit underpowered on the servos, but that is to save these parts. Because it has 2 different motors, sometimes you might find tires that aren't bound up spinning while the other ones aren't moving. You got to give it a little extra gas, but again, it's not that big of a deal. The 4-wheel steering is super nice. It works great. It shifts on the fly. You just push this button right there. One thing I will say is it is great as a crawler. It's not very fast. So if you gave this to a kid, they wouldn't be real excited or happy about it unless they really like crawling over things. It's really more of an intermediate toy. Let's play some video of us playing with this. I got about 10 minutes of video of crawling around a big rock pile at the lake with a couple of these. It might get a little boring. Fast forward 10 minutes forward if you don't want to watch me play with this at all. So one thing I did forget to mention in all the video that I've shot so far is that the battery life on this, if you're crawling, is anywhere from 25 to 45 minutes. A really good battery life. If you're going full throttle a lot, then the battery life is going to be substantially less. But for crawling, it has an extreme amount of battery life for those small little batteries it has. Final thoughts on this is well designed. It's got a lot of unsprung weight where the motors are, so it's very stable. Probably more stable so than a hobby grade axial or something, because like again, out of the box, it's got a lot of unsprung weight, which keeps the tip over point relatively low. And you probably saw that in the video where several times I had it almost all the way over on its side and was able to flip it right back over. A good design at that point. Obviously, you lose some ground clearance and some clearance with the motors being down low. The motors run the risk of getting damp or wet if you go through a puddle, things like that. So it's definitely got its drawbacks. It's plastic, it's plastic, it's plastic. Servos, got a plastic body, so modifying the body is a little bit tough. But it is upgradable. It is more, in my opinion, worth more than what I paid for it. I think they retail for $120, $125, but you can get them on Amazon all day for under $100. For those of us that don't get into the hobby, but we want something cool to play with, check it out. Videos of it if you buy one. So guys, I hope you like this video. I hope it helps you make a wise decision on if you want to buy something like this. And guys, thanks for watching. There will be some Jeep content coming out this week. Probably some Corvette content coming out at the end of the week. So stay tuned for that. Thanks for watching. Hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, and have a great day.